Imagine a fighter so loyal to his mentor that he'd hang up his gloves on a dime if asked. That's the unbreakable bond between UFC star Islam Makhachev and his close confidant Khabib Nurmagomedov. And it's got the MMA world buzzing about what's next for the Dagestani phenom. Islam Makhachev isn't eyeing the exit from the octagon anytime soon, but he'd seriously consider stepping away if Khabib Nurmagomedov gave him the word. As the most accomplished champion the UFC lightweight division has ever seen, with an impressive 4 title defenses under his belt, Makhachev has built a legacy that's hard to top. Just to give you a sense of how dominant he's been, think of those defenses as successfully fending off the best challengers in one of the toughest weight classes, proving his skills night after night. This year, he made a bold move by giving up his lightweight crown to chase glory in the welterweight division. And that ambition peaks this Saturday in the headline bout of UFC 322 at Madison Square Garden in New York, where he'll square off against the rising star, Jack Della Maddalena. For beginners, dipping their toes into MMA, vacating a title means willingly stepping away from your current championship to pursue a new one in a higher weight class. It's a high-risk strategy that shows confidence in your abilities, but can stir up debates about whether it's wise to leave a division you've conquered. This weight jump is the realization of a long-term vision crafted by Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, Khabib's father and former coach, who saw Makhachev as the natural heir to carry on the family legacy in the sport. Back in the day, Makhachev was Khabib's go-to training partner during his legendary lightweight reign, sharpening each other's skills in those grueling sessions. But after Abdulmanap's tragic passing, Khabib decided to retire undefeated and shifted into a key coaching role for Makhachev. Having grown up like brothers in the same tough environment, their connection runs deep. Khabib once shared that Makhachev's championship victory brought him even more joy than his own triumphs. So it's no surprise that Makhachev feels he'd follow Khabib's lead into retirement if the time feels right. Khabib is basically my big brother, Makhachev shared on the Weighing In podcast. Check it out here, https://weighingin.com/weighingin_SIU. If he came to me one day and said, "Listen, it's time to hang it up, no more fights starting tomorrow," I'd pay attention. He's the one who looks out for everyone in our camp, keeps things in check, and always pushes us toward our best selves. He has this incredible knack for building champions, not just inside the gym but in every aspect of life. He's done so much for me that sometimes I don't even need to seek his advice. He just knows. And here's where it gets intriguing. If Makhachev pulls off a win this weekend, calling it quits could actually seem like a smart, satisfying end to his career. At just 34 years old, he'd join an elite club as only the 11th fighter in UFC history to claim titles in 2 different weight divisions, a rare feat that means dominating in multiple classes, like proving you're versatile enough to adapt your body and style across different sizes of opponents. For a guy already headed to the Hall of Fame, what else would there be left to chase? But without that nudge from Khabib, Makhachev is firmly staying in the game, and he's got some exciting visions for 2026 that keep fans hooked. When the topic turned to possibly climbing even higher to the middleweight division at 185 pounds, Makhachev joked, "I'd probably pack on the pounds and feel out of place. Cutting down to that weight would be a nightmare. It just wouldn't suit me. I'd be carrying too much bulk." But looking ahead to 2026, his ambitions are sky high. "I want to make history by fighting at the White House," he declared. Picture this. Madison Square Garden is iconic, but a card at the White House? That would be etched in MMA lore forever, something fans would talk about for generations. To wrap up the year, he mused about heading to Abu Dhabi too, adding, "The crowds there have been waiting for me. How long has it been since I last competed on home turf?" As for potential opponents, Makhachev isn't getting picky. He's ready for whoever steps up. The MMA community has been dying for a dream clash with lightweight champ Ilia Topuria, a matchup that got derailed when Makhachev decided to go up to 170 pounds. And while dropping back to 155 might be a stretch for him physically, weight cuts get tougher as you age and move around divisions. He's keeping an open mind. "I'll see how I feel post-fight." Check my weight and go from there, he explained. Getting back to 155 would be tough, no doubt. But if I snag that welterweight belt, I'm game for any challenge that comes my way. But this is the part most people miss, and it could spark some real debate. Is Makhachev's willingness to defer to Khabib a sign of ultimate loyalty or a potential crutch that might hold back his individual drive? In a sport as cutthroat as MMA, where fighters often make solo calls on their careers, does leaning so heavily on a mentor risk missing out on personal milestones? What do you think? Should Makhachev chase more glory on his own terms, or is this brotherly guidance the secret to his success? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear if your team retire a legend or keep fighting forever.